do to unite them rather than them working for their own interests and their own medical schools to really have some input so they're not so disillusioned about the politicians, and to give them a voice to make the health service better and to use their ideas.
Okay, thanks, Linda. It's an extensive question. I'll pick on a couple of the points that you raised there. I mean, I think the first thing, as you say, change and change and change. Sometimes you fear for change's sake in the public services as a whole is massively debilitating. I've often thought that the most radical thing a Secretary of State for Health could ever do is inherit the job and say, do you know what? We're going to leave things as they are. We're going to leave things as we are. We'll let people get on with keeping people well and making people better. And there's an argument for saying that whilst there are always things we need to do in terms of reform, the radical shake-ups and restructuring are just not helpful. I remember it working in higher education myself, as some great management science guru once wrote, every time you restructure, you bleed. That means as an organisation, it means as individuals. In terms of the team player spirit, if that's the right phrase for people working in the health service, I just observe that if you work in any organisation where goodwill is eroded, then you will have people effectively working to rule and looking out for themselves. And you see that impact across the whole of the public sector in many ways, where governments or local authorities have chosen to try and squeeze more and more and more out of their employees, to the extent their employees do not go the extra mile anymore. And I've seen that myself again in my professional life before I was a member of Parliament. And we need to understand that goodwill is something you can't put a price on. And the National Health Service is something that in many ways expects goodwill from its staff, in which case its staff must be managed in ways which are gentle, which are encouraging, and are not, for example, like the new junior doctors contract, where there's exploitation of people. Because if we want people to choose these vital careers, we need to prove that we value them. Okay, thank you. And there's a question there. Yeah, young guy.